welcome, welcome. Just waiting for Rye to show up. She's partially here. I hope everyone's day has been going well. Unfortunately, most of my day was taken up with a giant nap in the middle of it, so take that for what it is. Hello, FK. Hello, Orca. Yeah, it's been hard for me to get a good solid sleep with all the yard work that's been happening, but they are progressing along. The fence has a couple fewer holes in it, at least. All the junipers that were kind of overgrowing the sidewalk are gone, and the current plan is to plant trees. I just hope they're not redwoods or oaks. Then I would be in trouble. Yeah, I'm glad Artemis is back safe and sound. It's just, I've been watching the space industry recently, and there's been so many oopses and mistakes and corners cut, and it's already cost maybe not the lives, but the livelihood of some of the ground crew. It had me worried, so space is a very unforgiving place. Don't believe what the Loprits tell you. Someday we will have a ride. They're probably finishing up with their dad. Hey, it's a miracle those guys came back. That was just a walking disaster. And now that space has become more and more quote-unquote privatized, a lot of those private entities are pushing hard and running a little too lean. And sooner or later, it's going to cost people's lives. And that's what I'm worried about. But then again, I've always been one for we should be spending more money on the sciences, including space, but among other things as well, than our current military spending, which is grossly over budget compared to what we're getting. It's like, yeah, we're a big nation. We don't need it. We don't need that to consume 2/3 of our budget. We should have some, but there's a difference between having the right amount and having too much. Unfortunately, a lot of it actually does go into the sciences in a roundabout way. It's just, yeah, well. Let's wander off onto different topics. Oh, I see a connection link for VoIP. There is Kitten. Quick, let's talk about something else. I'm just making myself depressed.
Hi FK, hi Orca, hi Doodles.
So, I assume, do we want to work on Mogtomes, or do we want to work on societies, or do we want to do something else?
I was figuring probably start with Mogtomes.
Okay.
First, I'm going to work on my retainer.
I am not your retainer! As she continues to shove stuff into my pockets. Why are you shoving things into my pockets?
Because I know you have sex with them already.
Stop that! I was putting them away! I have to...
The wheel of fish, fortune, whatever they call the things at Oasis and such, kept giving me materia.
Okay, let's see. You need to do your Mog challenge, correct?
Yeah.
Before we do that, we might want to go pick up another dusty tome for Aliapo.
Well, that was... Okay, yeah, that was...
The mini Mog for week 2 is either Wondrous Tales, 3 stamps, or Grand Company.
And it's just supply and provisioning, which means, like, doing a couple of, like, Dark Knight training runs and then handing over the proceeds of items.
Yeah, well. But if we get the Dusty Tome for Wondrous Tales, it might have what you want to do for Dark Knight in it.
It might.
Idleshire.
Not sure it's going to give Castrum Meridianum, though.
That's actually a high probability.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just so bad at turning them
go.
in, partially because I don't have room for the tome on my bar, so I forget I even have it.
Yeah. And for me, it's just so far down the list of things to do.
Even though it gives you bonus XP.
It does.
Yes. Oh no, this journal is all old and dusty, smelly. Chloe, really sorry, but Chloe wants to hear new stories. So I'll just give these old stories back to you, okay? But don't feel bad. Lots of people like reading old stories too, like my Aunt Rowena. I think you and her would get along great. No.
No.
No! You want a new journal? Can you say pretty, pretty, pretty please with a rolling berry on top? Alright, well, here you go. I think this is my best one yet. Look at all my Eorzean letters. I'm sure to get them all right this time, I think. What were we talking about? Oh, that's right. This new journal is waiting to be filled with all sorts of wonderful stories. You know, you'll do that for Chloe, right? If you do, you'll make my bestest friend ever and ever.
Now, what is that under? Collection?
No. It's in your inventory under key items.
And only there?
Yes. Which is why
Yeah,
I always forget about it.
That is a small problem. Okay, leveling dungeons. High level dungeons. Leveling dungeons. And level 100 dungeons. Alliance Raid Stormblood, Alliance Raid Endwalker, Alexander Midas, Asphodelos, 1st to 4th Circles, AAC Cruiserweight M1 or M2, Thost Ast Thok Extreme, Emanation Extreme, The Great Hunt Extreme, Minstrel's Ballad Hades Elegy, Storm's Crowned Extreme, Treasure Dungeons, Rival Wings.
Yeah, I've got Treasure Dungeons as well. And Frontline,
Oh, no.
which we're
I have to
probably
map.
knowing. So, leveling dungeons, high level dungeons, 90, dungeons 100, Alliance Raid, Heavensward, Juno First Walk, Alexander Gordius, Light Heavyweight 1 through 4, Cruiserweight M4 or M3.
Ah!
Nothing's matching up, is it?
No!
Limitless.
Because I need Cruiserweight M1 or M2.
Limitless Blue Extreme, or Bismarck Extreme, Susanoo Extreme, Suzaku Extreme, Dancing Plague Extreme, and Singer.
Yeah, I'm not sure anything matches short of maybe some of the first ones.
And Treasure Dungeons.
Okay, yeah, that matches. What's your first one? I.e. top left?
Leveling Dungeons.
51s, 60s, or 50s, 50s, 60s, and 70s?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay. And the second one?
High level dungeons, 50s and 60s.
Okay. The third?
High level dungeon 90.
And the fourth?
High level dungeon 100.
Okay, I think overall we have like 4 matches. The first 2, that fourth one, Dungeon 100, and Treasure Dungeon.
We've been gypped!
Always.
Do you want to just Dark Knight yourself through your weekly?
Something like that. My weekly, or you mean Meridianum?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I think we can two-man that.
I think so.
At synced. So...
Yes. Yes. It has to be level synced or else it doesn't count.
Am I blind?
Probably not.
Ah, there it is. The list was so big, I kept passing it because I'm like, this is Carpable Mines, it should be after that! Carpable Mines hard.
Right.
And of course this means we have to sit through the cinematics.
Hey, people put in good work on those cinematics.
Even
Notice
though
in the cinematics.
Even though they've changed it and it's not quite as story focused as it used to be.
Yeah, but people still put in work on those cinematics.
Yep.
Time to get gritty. Sid, this is Sid.
Yeah, I can definitely feel your gear scoring here.
Should be plenty good for level 50.
Exactly! I'm barely having to heal you!
Okay. I don't have a gap closer.
No, you do not.
I don't have salted earth. The thing about not needing to heal me.
Eh. Meh, 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 meh. Compared to the healing I had to do earlier today, this is a snooze fest.
What were you healing earlier today?
So I ended up in Q and ended up in Rabanastre
Okay. As heal, apparently.
as heal. Had a very good co-healer, which was needed. Oh
no.
my god. Because half the raid, no, not half the party, half the raid decided to be greedy little mofos.
Of course.
I mean, if you could stand in every single AoE possible, that was what was happening. I mean, we were picking the entire raid up with spatulas. The entire time. At one point, because we had some pre-heal health ticks going, the second to last boss, half of our party stood up. The rest of the raid did not.
Really?
Really?
Which boss would this be?
The charioteer?
Oh, okay. Oh man, that is not one to stand in the middle of things for.
It was, painful. But we got it. Afterwards, the other healer was like, I cursed by saying we were the best rezzers, didn't I? And everyone's like, yes!
Did you even have any Verez help, or were they dying?
There was no Verez help.
Yeah. Summoner?
Nope. It was practically all melee except for one Black Mage and one Pictomancer.
Yeah, you guys so needed me to be there. I would have been at low mana for most of the raid, it sounds like.
If you weren't dead, because, oh man.
I have some problems with the chariot, but I know what I'm doing, and I don't read that.
Yeah, there was this one Sam who literally was greeting everything. Ow! Ow! That hurt!
Physician, heal thyself.
I mean, we're talking standing under weights that were gonna drop and everything.
No.
Yeah, I did make a couple of wrong maneuvers healing-wise, but it was all in the name of trying to get everything back into stable and being in panic mode.
Yeah. Incendiary support is OBA that's getting you.
Yeah, I know.
Incendiary support.
Still handled. But yeah, that was an adventurous run, but we didn't wipe, so, yeah, me and the other healer were walking away with so many comms.
Good.
I think I pulled 3 and they pulled, like,
Incendiary.
hopefully all the others.
Say in completely different news, we finished watching Owl House last night.
Yes. Highly recommended.
You might have, or you will have to sail the 7 seas to watch it now, but yeah, it is very good. And ends well.
Yeah.
I mean, She-Ra definitely had the problem of, it looked like they were told, you know, okay, you're not going to get any more seasons after this, wrap everything up, and, you know, they did the main plot line and kind of shoved in answers for everything else, where this was, okay, you're not getting any more seasons, but we will let you do basically 3 OAVs to wrap things up. And each one is effectively a summary of a season.
Well, with She-Ra, it didn't feel like they were trying to wrap things up quickly. What felt like is they were expecting another season and didn't get it.
I suppose.
It did kind of have a hurried rush, but it also had kind of this weird cliffhanger-ness to it.
Well, they got a full season, but I'm kind of getting the idea that they were told, okay, you're getting one more season. You'll get a season, but that's all you get. And they kind of concentrated on the main part of the story, and then just wrapped up everything else suddenly at the end, too. She-Ra. legally, since there was DVDs or Blu-rays, whichever, of the first 3 seasons out of 5. Owl House, of course, was Disney, and they won't put anything out on DVD anymore.
Yeah, you have to go to Disney Plus. Technically, everything should be there and nothing in the archives, but no.
They've taken a bunch of stuff off.
Only way we can go.
Just trying to figure out which way we
They
can
used
go.
to have a split here, but they got rid of it.
And I think pretty much everything else we're watching with the guys is like 1 or maybe 2 episodes away from its finish. That last episode of Shadow's House sure felt like a season closer, but I know there's another episode at least.
Oh no, there's a whole another season.
Oh, okay. I thought it only went for 1.
Well, that was the first core of the season.
I'm talking in quarter-year seasons. If they want me to think of seasons as being 26 episodes, then don't change opening and ending credits after every 13.
But we've got a lot of stuff on backlog, and
Oh yeah. That's what I'm trying to get to. So yeah, I guess we're halfway through that. We're fairly deep in the current season of To Your Eternity. Is there more after that?
no, as far as I know, this is the final season.
So far.
No, they actually promoted it as the final season.
Not sure we're really up for a ending in the next couple of episodes. And what's the other one we're watching?
Blood Blockade, Battlefront, and Beyond.
Oh, right. Yeah, and we are getting very close to the end of that.
Maybe yes, maybe no. I seem to remember another really major plot line coming in with Leo.
It's probably like another 2 or maybe 3 parts. I don't think they do anything to really tie everything together at the end, from what I recall, and they just let this one live on being a whole bunch of stories exploring the various secondary characters.
Yeah, they do a whole big plot line with Leo and his sister.
Okay. But we are still most of the way through the current season, and I know it doesn't go more than 13. It's probably going to be a 2 or 3 part. from a nearly complete changeover on what we're watching for Thursdays.
Because I know one that we've been trying to do is squeeze enough time for the hour-long live-action One Piece.
Yes. That's kind of the top of the priority list. Which is why I'm kind of happy that, like, all three of those others are A, co-standing, and B, co-standing basically concurrently with each other. Yeah, there's several things on Crunchyroll. Not sure there's anything waiting on Netflix. And of course, we've got like 3 different DVD sets waiting.
There's one on Netflix I can think of that I think everyone would actually appreciate.
Which would that be?
Orb.
Oh, okay.
On Movements of the Earth.
Yes.
Which is historical drama.
Yes. Yeah, the last time you mentioned it, I didn't recognize it at first. Once you mentioned what it was, I was going, oh, right. Because, of course, the title was wanting to make me think of something completely different.
And of course, you guys still need to see Free Ren.
Yep.
Which was a short season. It was only 10 episodes.
I think there's a couple of other things.
Yeah, and of course,
Waiting.
I started watching the first episode of Overtake and then held off because I thought it seemed like a show the guys would appreciate.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Racing?
Yeah, Formula 4 racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen Free Ren, no one else has.
And I didn't even know you had.
And of
Yeah,
course,
we're still getting through all the previous stuff that was on.
I would like to see 100 Meters, which is by the same author who did Orb. It's him doing foot racing.
Oh, right.
Olympic
okay.
racing. And then Witch Hat Atelier came out, and it's being simuldubbed. At least the first 3 episodes,
Right.
if not more.
Yeah,
I'm basically
probably won't be able to get to that one for a season or so.
But the urge to, you guys must watch it now, is strong.
Sadly, that just doesn't work with the guys. Too many interruptions to the schedule.
I mean, how many DVDs do we have set up to watch?
3 sets. Now that we finally got through Owl House. I can't really think of the name. The one that you
Primal?
wanted and so on. Primal, yes. So however many episodes that is.
Yeah, that's like the first
then,
season of Primal.
And then the old 30 Pair series, that's 26. And then season 1 of Strange New Worlds, which is another hour long bit. And I think comparatively few episodes.
This guy's almost dead.
Yep. There we go.
Good night, sweet prince. This way.
Good night, sweet Vanguard.
Heads up, pigeons!
Yep. Of course, the latest thing I got DVD-wise is one we've seen, so it's not on the schedule, but at some point, we need to figure out how to get Baron to see it because he's the only one who has it, which is the first part of Prodigy.
Ah, right.
We watched it together, and Dave also watched it on his own, so Baron's the only person who hasn't had a chance at it.
I am not that adventurous, Doodles. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. I have 0 time to take a look at chat. Just you and me, I don't think we're particularly close to the end of anything. So we did just finish Hippo, so we do have a slot opening up.
Oh, it wants us to go that way? But what about this way? I'm confused.
Don't ask me.
Posheth is a legendary, phenomenal dwarven drink. Okay, that's the start.
Okay, something in free run then.
Maybe?
Maybe?
I guess?
Shortcut. Yeah, I think that's the start. Yeah, this is, I guess, the start.
But we came through, and then we did that, and then I'm confused. This dungeon has poor direction. It's always had poor direction.
Well, in the original, of course, you were kind of needing to backtrack in a few places and kind of even split up.
Oh, hi, Sid! He's here to take care of the generators for us, which we cannot do ourselves.
Because we don't have making it. Thank you. Is that a benediction?
Yes. A planned for benediction.
I had a feeling that might be true, but there are very few things that will take me from that low to full.
Trying to keep an eye on Sid in the corner.
Yeah. He seems to be doing pretty well at the moment.
Yeah, one that just ended to me that I was actually surprised on how good it was, considering it very much is kind of a dark fantasy, is Sentenced to be a Hero.
Okay. Seen the title once or twice.
Hello, Aki!
Yes, hey there.
Yeah, dark fantasy. You have human civilization, which is currently under siege by fairies, which is effectively a zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
Of the mushroom variety. And in order to combat them, humanity has derived two effective weapons. One is the goddesses, which have been around for a while. These are genetically engineered magical beings that each one has a power. And they're all wrapped up in these cute little moe girls.
Of course. Because anime.
Who are both very egotistical and full of themselves, but derive their entire existence from wanting praise from others.
Right.
Yeah, that's correct, Doodle. There has been a rise in fantasy in general that isn't Izeki, which is good to see.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the goddesses on one end. They were created a long time ago, but they haven't... No one knows how to make them anymore. The second type are quote-unquote heroes. These are people who are basically put on the front line to tackle the fairies, i.e. the zombie mushroom plague. And they can't die, or at least, if they die, they automatically get resurrected.
Yeah.
The problem with this is that the more you get resurrected, the more you lose your memories and sense of self.
Right.
So this is why they take convicts to do this. And it follows this one fellow who originally was a temple knight, but ended up getting framed for the murder of the goddess that he controlled. So he was sentenced to be one of these hero classes. Ow! I don't like this pattern.
A pattern.
I don't like this pattern. Oh, this is Livia. She was always a
Yeah.
But the series itself, okay, you've got this horrific position, but you can also kind of understand where they're coming from, because the entire situation is horrific.
I don't have that yet.
And the enemies are horrific, and it is offset by rather dark humor in a few spots. But for dark fantasy, it's actually a pretty good one. Clevitos ended up actually being pretty good. I just wish the animation had the budget for it. That was the main problem with Clevitos. testing us.
That was she. Here I thought she was merely being annoying.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of this resurgence of high fantasy and dark fantasy. But I've not seen a resurgence for Lotus Wars, which kind of surprises me. I mean, the TV series, which is a follow-up to the anime, did kind of say everything they wanted to say. I know there were a couple spin-off properties for it, and of course, it being based off of the Japanese role-playing game.
I believe it is D&D to begin with. I would have to look it up all over.
No, it's actually based off the original Japanese RPG, which kind of took the market, and is why D&D never really got a foothold in Japan.
At least for a bit. It has kind of taken. But yeah, it was certainly interesting to find out why the title was Record of War. Which I believe I told you about.
Yep. And I know there was something of a video game about 10 years ago for it. But, of course, it never came over here.
Yeah.
By the way, if anyone has not seen the original Record of Lotus War DVDs, they are freaking awesome.
OAB, yeah. Yeah, it does have the problem of a lot of things from its time period, early 90s. It does not really stick the landing. Past that, it is very good. Or should I say before that?
Yeah. Well, the TV, which is a continuation of the story,
Right.
does a lot better on the ending.
Yeah.
But it is a really hard ending. There's not much you can do after that.
For everyone else in the audience, basically when role-playing games were getting going, of course, especially if you're not an English-speaking market, word kind of has to come second-hand, and you get a couple of early magazines kind of explaining what they are in Japan, with one of the very initial ones actually giving an example RPG system of its own, which is a very simple one. But a lot of the explanation for she ran out of other things to do.
Yeah, we basically hit her semi-soft enrage.
Better tastes and top
I want to ass-size her so much!
How about Blair?
No!
Blair
All I can do is throw a rock at her!
Yeah. But anyway, so a lot of the explanations in the early Japanese magazines trying to explain all of this started turning into basically let's play or what do they call a genre in like YouTube now? Actual play.
Yeah.
So they were transcripts, since, you know, you don't have access to video and audio streaming or anything at the beginning of the 80s. So they were all transcripts of sessions. And one of the popular features that ran for several issues, you know, many issues and so on, to as part of this explanation and everything, was the transcripts for the campaign for a campaign that was happening on the island of Lodos and dealing with the wars there. So it was the record of Lodos War. Yay! I can claim my Mogstones from the Mogpendium. That gets me up to 112.
I'm at 139.
Show off.
Eh.
So now what?
We have like 4 minutes.
It's Friday. We can do something short still.
Well, I got a bunch of shit to turn into Grand Company. How about you?
Nothing.
You've turned it all in?
I don't have anything.
To
It's not like that gave any.
let's see,
items.
you're what? Level 79? That would be an
79.
Antioscope.
Yeah. No.
No?
Mount Gull.
Oh! Even better!
Yes. Remember, I'm at the level where all I should have to do is just kind of look at you while in Dark Knight, and you'll start offering to run things. Yeah, a Teoscope is another 10 levels,
Are you ready?
I suppose.
Don't forget to eat something.
I have some gathering food.
Oh, we've got a food vendor over here, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think there's a food vendor in the hard place. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Let's check by the 8th right.
The only non-gathering food I have on me is the Rollenberry Valentine cake, which kind of needs housing.
Is there no food vendor in Idleshire? They've been kind of getting rid of their food vendors, which is kind of annoying.
They've never had very many outside of like the main three.
I mean, there's food vendors at the reunion.
Yes.
What's the junkmonger have? Junk. That's what the junkmonger has. Okay, there's a simple way to get food. Unless the scrap salvager has anything, which I seriously doubt.
Doesn't look like it. Yeah, 1 and 2 are all components for the, what's it? The 3 is just general crafting components.
Well, we can swing by the house and eat something there.
Yeah, you could.
Then let's.
We are.
Yeah, have some of this sushi. Or some Kinder Punch.
New Year's meal. And it is sublime.
Okay, with that. Yes, I changed the music in the house.
What that theme is from.
Papia? Derest?
Okay. Where do... I'm trying to remember, I guess, in the various event thingies.
Yeah, seasonals.
Well, but specifically the event thingies. As opposed to,
So it is
just being in the holiday quest itself.
do not defile my new paradise.
Come on. Come on. Finally. So how brave do you want me to be?
In your current gear, not that brave.
Aw.
Watch out, you're gonna get tail
My
swiped.
gear is great.
Your gear's getting a little long in the tooth.
You were just saying my gear was great.
Did I?
Yes. You said you were barely needing to heal me.
That was a different dungeon, kid.
So? It's the same gear. Really?
Different dungeon! You're no longer level synced!
Probably blast way in there.
remembering how to play Sage.
Yeah. You play
Like-
Sage by making all sorts of video game sound effects.
Well, yes.
What more do you need to know? What more is there?
Oh god, I just realized I had not played Sage since I got this new equipment.
Hmm.
Because the pendulum's just bound to me.
Right.
You want to test me today, don't you?
Maybe a little. I'm figuring a couple of them will collapse pretty soon. So you shouldn't need to keep it up for too long.
I am so rusty in Sage.
You need to get tutoring from Alphino.
No.
that. They're supposed to be hitting me. I do kind of have to wonder about this conveniently placed support beam. You ready?
Oh, you can see his head from here. I never noticed that. I've been in here how many times?
All of them? Yep.
And this conveniently placed support beam is one of his arms.
I don't think that's right.
Oh, I mistimed that bugger.
Sorry. Yeah. Nope, this is a complicated version.
Little off there.
Yeah. Nope. Silent.
Vulnerability reset.
I'm not doing my job right. I am no longer a company tank. I should have all the company.
No, you don't need company. You need kill.
I'm supposed to be on the comfy couch.
comfy couch for you.
Aw.
Starting to get my timing back.
You getting your groove back? Scouting. Wonder is starting to wonder there.
What?
They didn't react at first.
That's because they said I already had the item.
No, these guys. Stood in front of them and they didn't do anything for a couple of seconds.
They were confused why you were here without 3 people behind you.
I guess.
Yeah, admittedly, this coming season is kind of stacked for stuff anime-wise. We've got a new season of ReZero.
Ah, yes.
I will not suffer it!
Which is really good, but can be a bit hard to take sometimes.
Yeah, it may be a Naizeki, but the hero does not get a free pass. In fact, he has one of these. He was granted one of the suckiest powers ever.
Well, no, it's a great power. It's just the way it ends up being
Used?
Yeah.
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 No bueno. And of course, they started more slime, reincarnated as a slime.
Oh, okay. On the opposite end of things for Izeki.
And new season of Dr. Stone.
Okay. And of course, the one that we're going to have to wonder a bit about. The new season of Sentence of the Bookworm with the AI.
Yeah.
Now, they doing it in the backgrounds of the episodes or just in like the opening credits?
Opening and ending credits, I believe. Now there
So
has
far,
been some
the
issues.
various times when it comes up, it's been in the credits and not during episodes. I find kind of interesting.
There has been a few accusations of AI work on stuff that wasn't AI recently.
Okay.
So I don't know how much of it is true. I'm sure
Right.
Doodles could figure it out. Doodles was like, gee, thanks for putting me on the spot here. Particularly a lot of people were... Oh, one of the ones that's happening, I think it's this season, it might be next season, is they announced a Sekiro animation.
Sekiro.
Which is a FromSoft game in the lines
That's right. That was
of...
one of the things that Action got hooked into.
Yeah, Action loves his Sekiro. But a lot of people are like, was proven it was false, because part of the problem with animation, especially anime,
Oh yeah.
is it's done at such a speed that errors do happen.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know exactly which channel it is. I know there is a YouTube, basically Star Trek lore channel that has gone to some AI art.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Starfleet Design pointed it out. Because you've got this nice kind of diagram, semi-diagram, you know, it's still a perspective shot and basically taken from one of the classic angles from like the opening credits of the Galaxy class Enterprise. But there's a few problems. One, the labeling for it doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense, and B, where it should be saying like 1701D on the underside of the saucer, it says L-cars.
Really?
Yeah. Obviously, someone prompted it to do an L-cars like display of a Galaxy class. L-cars is the name of the UI style that all the consoles in next generation use. Okay, you ready for this?
I suppose.
Oh. Great. That's the kind of backup I want to hear I have.
Happy to oblige.
Rubik's Cubes is corners and center.
Corners, corners. I am so rusty on Sage, it's not even funny.
Yes, this goes on before anything else is built. Front back. Sides. Sides.
Yes, this is a legal hole! awfully strong for being a cube.
Hey, give some respect. Rubik's Cubes have beaten how many people?
Fair.
Now three's servants, showing its hip to be square.
Yeah.
If you want better jokes, don't have me tanking.
We can have better jokes.
More painful ones, at least.
We've almost got him. He's down under 10%. There we go.
There.
Healing and casting.
Earring.
I am righteousness, and righteousness will prevail.
You are not righteousness. You are a tub of lard.
Can't you do anything by yourself?
Star Trek 6, I had to pay real money for him to shut up. And of course, this particular encounter is the ultimate reason why I realized we were facing Void Scent in Pilgrim's Traverse.
Oh?
Well, this particular encounter with these ladies is when is the encounter during which, during one of our runs, you ended up pointing out to me that these are the same skeleton and everything as the succubi
Yes, they are.
played set. And it's because of this encounter I know that, and I realized we were fighting Voidsen and Pilgrim's Traverse that one time when I was listening to it later, and I heard the laughter, which is shared by the succubus and the sin eaters here. Oh yeah, okay, we're fighting sin eaters and we're fighting sin eaters, and wait, no, we have not fought this model in there. At which point I realized, yeah, we've been fighting Voidsen.
They do have a distinct laugh.
Yes.
This
Yeah,
group
when I-
is being a difficult heal.
Great. But yeah, when I realized I was hearing the laugh and you weren't actually fighting the Sin Eaters, that I realized, oh, wait. We have something more going on. And I'm running out of defenses.
I'm working it.
By the way, I will certainly level at the end of this.
Nice. Glad you did not do a major pull there. Oh my god, that was a tricky
Yeah,
heal.
no. Know me, I'm not much for those. A couple of the early ones I basically did, okay, they're, under 10%. It's time to go get the next group.
And this is why we like two-manning, so we can do this at our own freaking pace and not the pace that,
That the local monk wants you to go at.
yes. This is Shadowbringers.
fairly late, Shadowbringers.
Over!
Yep. You don't have to tell me once.
Over!
Yeah. And this is the proper site to be on anyway.
Over! Over! Over!
You think this isn't even a boss?
He wants to be a boss. He wants to be a boss so bad. Over! Over? Never mind.
Nope. But instead of a boss, he's just a ramp.
This is very late Shadowbringers.
You can kind of tell from this boss theme, especially once it gets going. This is Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
Stop that, damn you! I don't care what it takes!
All the way over!
That's right.
One, two, three, four, this way.
This fight is another reason why Black Mages needed to go off of the timer on cycle.
Yeah.
anything that has force untargeting.
Center. And just for the record, she's actually not a light warden.
No.
She's just shy of being a light warden, but she's not a light warden.
I suppose with some of what's going on, she might have been demoted from one.
Hush you, no spoilers.
Certainly not something that occurred to me at the time. It was kind of a scary thought.
Again.
Yeah.
I will say with all of FF14, Shadowbringers is probably the best it gets, but Endwalker is a very close second. It got a little weaker with Dawn Trail, but Dawn Trail was not as weak as Stormblood.
Many people would have you believe.
But even at their weakest, they're stronger than many others of its ilk tend to get.
Many other MMOs, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're about at the halfway mark.
A little too far out.
No getting comfy!
But the couch!
Nope, nope, nope. Couch denied!
Man. I'm no longer
Good. You shouldn't be.
Hey. A lot of variation this time. Here we go.
I heard that ding!
Woo! Were you afraid of the dirt 6?
If it wasn't for the fact that we haven't finished Pilgrim's Traverse, I'd say, Eureka Orthos!
Oh, heck no.
Oh, you can do it, kitten. Don't be afraid.
Oh, there's a lot to be afraid of in that place. But I'm less afraid and more in dread. Living Shadow. Ah, okay. I think I have a whole bunch of stuff to go through too. You want a Gulk planter?
Not really.
Yeah. Gee, thanks. Okay, it is time to find a place to sit and rest.
That's
great.
easy.
We're at the house.
Yeah, we were at the house. What was your pity
Where's our
drop?
page sheets? Feet.
Well, you do need food. Put on those feces.
Later.
You go crash.
Yeah, you know, I did say something short would work. Then you suggested milk gold, which 2-man is not short.
Sorry. It is time and past time to call it a night. It looks like Absolute Ease is on. She's running Pilgrim's Traverse. So I'll shuffle you people over there. Until then, or until tomorrow for more Deep Dungeon fun, be safe, be well, get a good night's sleep, and we will see you next time.
Yes, everyone have a great night. Hope to see you here for Pilgrim's Traverse at 9:30 Pacific.
See.